Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name's Luke here, and I'm bringing you guys my very first Borderlands 4 video. I'm going to be doing a Borderlands 4 Apophis Lance Rafa build video for you guys, basically. I've got a build that I've been using for Rafa. I've been using it basically the entire time I've been playing this game. I haven't played it as much as probably some people. I've got probably like 60 hours in it already. But he's the only character I've played, Rafa. I've got a pretty decent build for him. I've seen builds similar to this. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna break it down for you guys. I'll show you guys what I've been using and what I've been using to just destroy basically every single boss in the game super easily. So I'm gonna go over what gear I recommend, the skills I use. Maybe I'll touch on the specialization stuff. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. First off, the gear. Pretty like with this build, I'm pretty like lenient with what you run. A lot of the gear really doesn't matter. There's only a couple of moving parts that I would really recommend you guys have. Number one, this is required. The Buster class mod for Rafa, um, non-negotiable. It makes this build so much better. Um, the skills it gives are really good, and the extra effect where the Apophis Lance gains 25% chance to not consume charges. The more charges used at once, the greater the chance. This is really good because we're going to be spamming the Apophis Lance. We're not really going to be charging it. We're mostly just going to be spamming it to proc some of our abilities. And the other pieces of gear that I would recommend that aren't even necessarily required, but I would say, try them out. Number one is just any Vladoff with a taser underbarrel. Because what we're going to be doing with this build is we're going to be spamming the underbarrels of some pretty powerful shock weapons or shock underbarrels, right? And the taser is one of the most consistent versions of this. The taser just does really good consistent damage. So yeah, find a gun with a taser. These can spawn on I think Vladoff, SMGs, assault rifles. I've seen them spawn on some deadless weapons as well. I'm not sure all of the guns these can spawn on, but just look for a gun with a taser. And the other thing, this is kind of what I feel like. I haven't seen it. I've seen a lot of the taser spam. I have not seen people spamming this, the beam tosser. The beam tosser is something I found I like yesterday. I didn't even know about the beam tosser was even like a thing until yesterday. I got this kickballer from the Maurice like vending machine thing, and I saw beam tosser. I was like, what the fuck's a beam tosser? And then I shot it a couple of times. I'm like, wait, this might be crazy with this taser build, this like infinite ammo taser build I've got going on. And lo and behold, it absolutely was. This thing is disgusting. Um, so basically, the gear you need, Buster class mod, Vladoff with a taser if you'd like, and if you want to improve the build even more, like a Malawan shotgun with a beam tosser. To my knowledge, the beam tosser only spawns on the Malawan shotguns, but I don't actually know. Now, other underbarrels you can use any underbarrel really you want. It's better to have like a multi-shot underbarrel instead of just like a underbarrel that only gets one shot. But you can use something like this. I found this thing. It's got the laser wire. I don't think the laser wire is pretty good. It might be all right for mobbing. I haven't really used it, and this build can mob just fine too, which is, you can have different gear and shit for like if you want to mob or if you want to kill bosses. But I'll touch on some of the other stuff I use. These two slots honestly almost never get used, especially when I'm killing bosses. It's normally these two. For my rep kit, I just have this regular TDR rep kit. It's really not that great. You guys can probably find something way better, but I just have this one because it has the elemental affinity. It increases our elemental damage by 25% when I pop it. So I'll go into a boss fight, I'll pop this, and then I'll get that buff, right? So nothing too crazy. Grenades literally pointless. You can get like a crit knife or something like that. This is why I want to do a video like this, because I feel like a lot of people who do these build videos kind of they optimize it too much and they like tell you exactly what you need to be using. Make the build your own. You feel me? Like grenade, you can do better than me with a grenade. You can farm something else. You can use something else. No big deal. Shield, I got a couple of shields I like. I have this extra medium with siphon on it that gives me overshield. And having some overshield does benefit our build a little bit. So I like this one uh, quite a bit for, especially for mobbing. I like this shield. And then I have this Malawan enhancement. Guns with Malawan parts have 25% status effect damage. Really good for our kickballer with this beam tosser. And then gun critical damage is increased by 50%. You might be able to find a better enhancement than this. Go look. You can find something that'll work easily. The only things that really are kind of required for this build to work. The Buster, the Beam Tosser. You don't even need the Beam Tosser. You just get to go with a Taser, and this will work just fine. But that's enough yapping about the gear. It's not super important. It's pretty lenient. You can pretty much, you can mix and match, use whatever you want, man. It's not super important. As far as firmware goes, I don't even have any firmware that are worth a shit. Like I said, you guys can optimize this even more. You can make the build your own. That's kind of the whole idea, right? So, but let's jump into what's most important, the skills here. So we're going to start off with the blue tree. There's a train right by my house. I don't know if you can hear that. And I'm going to touch over what skills are really important, what skills don't really matter. So let's jump right into it. I have 5 points in the thrill. Fire rate when overdrive's up. Pretty self-explanatory. Decent skill. You can pick whichever skill you want, really, as long as you can get down to this bottom left where all of our essential skills are. But I like the fire rate, so I spec'd into this. Pod intro, a little bit of health regen when we pop an active skill. Just a solid skill, but I didn't feel like going 5 points into it. Ariba, kill skill, increases our ordnance cooldown. It's all right for mobbing, so I have 2 points into that. Not super important. Now, this skill is incredibly important. You must be spec'd into this skill for it to work. Metal management. Whenever Rafa activates or retriggers an action skill, his gun consumes no ammo. This is really important because we're going to be spamming the Apophis lance. So every time we shoot the Apophis lance, we will then activate this skill and make our other hand weapon, so our underbarrel, like our taser or our beam tosser, have infinite ammo for 2 seconds. It's really, really strong. And I have 5 points in first impression. The first shot from a fully loaded mag does increase gun damage. Really, really good. Because if we're not consuming any ammo, hypothetically, optimally, every shot will be the first shot from our mag. So we'll be doing this increased gun damage most of the time, which is great. Now, another pretty essential skill, I have 5 points in Conductivo, and my Buster class mod gives me +2. Rafa gains increased shock chance and an extra, or status effect chance, and gets extra shock chance. You can read. I mean, you can read. You don't need me to read these for you, right? This is a really good skill, really powerful, because we're going to be wanting to apply the shock status effect or status effects in general to keep this build working. You don't need to necessarily use shock, but I like the shock element. I've been having fun with the shock build, so that's why I'm doing a quote-unquote shock build video. You know what I mean? I have 5 points in El Catrine. Not necessarily the most required skill, but it helps you get down here. And these two skills are both crazy, so I have 5 points in this. Whenever Rafa slides, action skills gain bonus shock damage, and we get increased crit for a duration. 35% shock damage, 35% crit. Really good for bosses. Still decent for mobbing as well. This skill, I get it +1 from the Buster class mod, so I don't need to put a point here. Whenever we shock an enemy, all shots fired at that enemy are crits. This is massive, especially with the taser, because the taser procs a lot of crits. Really good skill. Pretty self-explanatory. And I have 5 points at Fiesta. Whenever we apply a status effect, our action skills consume no duration, including the lance charges. So we want to pop our lance, shoot either our taser or our beam tosser, apply a shock status effect, which will then allow us to fire the Apophis lance and consume no charges. And when we're firing the Apophis lance, we are giving ourselves infinite ammo with metal management. Pretty self-explanatory. Oh, our augment as well. I'm using this one because it gives you skill damage. And it gives you an extra charge, which is nice. I don't really care about the extra charge, but the +50% skill damage is pretty nice. Moving on to the red tree. These skills you can kind of freestyle. You could even put them in the green tree if you want. If you want to change it up, it doesn't really matter too much. I have 5 points in CTR. I can't pronounce half of these skills, to be honest. It's just gun damage, though. It's pretty nice. Huerga, whenever we crit an enemy, our action skill duration is restored. This is really good because if we shock an enemy, all of our hits are going to be crits. So our uptime is really, really long with our lance. We basically, the only way we run out of Apophis lance if we're in like a mobbing scenario is if we use up all of our charges, and that's basically it, which it's kind of hard to do. It's not going to, like, our timer's not going to run out, basically, with these two skills together. I have 2 points in field repairs. Whenever we pop our action skill, we restore a portion of our maximum shield. If our shields are full, we gain overshield. This is really nice, but I didn't feel like putting 3 points into it because I wanted to put 3 into Maestro. It's just more skill damage. It's 27% more skill damage. Why not? And then our last 3 points are in El Valiente. We deal increased damage from all sources. The fuller our shields are, the greater the bonus. Uh, yeah, the fuller the fuller the shields are, the greater the bonus. God, I can't read. And while our shields are maximum, we do double damage. So if we're at full shield, we're doing 60% extra damage, which is really good. So we want to keep our shields up. But yeah, those are pretty much the skills. You can kind of freestyle a lot of these skills. The only ones I say are completely essential. Metal management, I think first impression's really strong. Conduct Evo is really good. El Catrine's really good. You need Awe and you need Fiesta. That's it. And as far as these capstones at the bottom, they're all pretty shit. You don't really need them. We also have this here. This is from my class mod. Whenever we deal damage with an action skill, we have a chance to deal that damage again, which is pretty nice. But yeah, that's it for the build. Let's touch on specializations. I'm going to say this right now. These are not optimal. I have not played with these at all. You can look at these and copy them if you want to, but I would recommend just doing it on your own. You know, leveling up, putting your points where you want them instead of just listening to what doing what I have. Don't copy everything I have because it's not, you know, there's room for improvement, guys. I say that a lot, but yeah, that's basically it for the build. I'll give you guys a quick little demo. Where am I? Okay, I'm at this Thresher boss. I'll show you guys how this works real quick. So we're here at Veraxis. I'm going to give us a quick little run real quickly. I've already went over this, but I'm going to make sure you know what I'm doing. I'm going to pop my rep kit. Gives me extra elemental damage. Really good. I'm going to use my beam tosser for this build, but the same premise applies for the taser. I'll throw in a taser kill so you can see how that works as well, and how you can see how consistent the damage is here. But it's pretty self-explanatory. When we go down here, we're going to get our slide buff. I'm going to pop the rep kit, and I'm going to destroy this boss, basically. So pop the rep kit. We get the slide bonus. We have infinite ammo here. And he's gone. You understand? It's... There you go. Oh, we got legendary. That's pretty cool. I haven't got a legendary from this guy yet. Dude, I've killed this thing like 35 times trying to get some of his drops, and I haven't been able to do it. But yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's like every time we shoot this with our status effect up, it won't consume a charge. You see it consuming the charge there, but it won't if a status effect up. But watch, when I shoot this here, I'll get infinite ammo with my beam tosser, right? That's basically how the build works. But yeah, that's it for the build, guys. I hope you guys have fun with this. You guys can try it out for your next Rafa playthrough or whatever. And I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.